মিডিয়া রিলিজ নারীর উপর ধর্ষণ নিপীড়ন এবং সহিংসতার বিরুদ্ধে প্রতিবাদ সমাবেশ Women are not safe in Bangladesh. In recent months, there have been alarming incidents of harassment, abuse, rape, lynching, cyberbullying against women all across Bangladesh and from all walks of life. There is no scope to see this as isolated, but part of an established pattern of intimidation and violence against women. Notable incidents include attacks on sex workers in Shamoli, public harassment, assault on 2 students in Lalmatia, harassment of a student by a library staff at Dhaka University, all in Dhaka, attacks on the Hijra community in Coxbazar, attack on girls in football fields in Rangpur and Jaipurhat, continuous oppression of indigenous women and everyday harassments and vicious mob attacks on women and various areas of Dhaka city. We also want to recognize that this is part of a noticeable pattern of reprisals, targeted attacks, threats, organized lynching against many other vulnerable communities in the country. An interim government which came to power through a mass uprising and people's demands for justice, freedom, anti-discrimination, in which many women are active leaders, organizers, and participants, including many of us, has failed to honor those promises and aspirations. They have not taken any meaningful measures to stop and address these events and bring under the purview of the law those involved in these repeated attacks against women, which has only emboldened those who are organizing such hate crimes. The government inaction has sent a deplorable message that it is acceptable to organize attacks against women and intimidate them. The government's post hoc statements are reduced to mere lip service at this point. Not only that, statements from the Home and Environmental Advisors Jahangir Alam Chaudhary and Sayyida Rizwana Hassan have failed to reassure women under attack and living in fear because they are riddled with misinformation and misunderstanding of the law and events, which effectively minimized the gravity of the situation, attempted to absolve the government of its responsibilities and failed to bring to justice the perpetrators. We want to be very clear that, like any other group, women constitute a diverse range of interests, affiliations, identities, and classes, and with acknowledgement and understanding of this reality, we demand an end to diversion tactics to shift focus from the fact that women, along with other vulnerable groups, are facing organized attacks, open and public incitement, instigation against their personhood, and we demand immediate actions against those responsible for such attacks and assaults. We have also noticed that the media acted irresponsibly in several cases by misrepresenting or misreporting protests against ongoing violence against women, provoking or harassment protesters on the ground, further fueling a sense of insecurity. The media must understand its role in manufacturing consent and directing public opinion, and that they have an ethical duty to uphold journalistic integrity. Despite a pattern of normalization, we refuse to accept these conditions as normal, and our demand is for all women from all classes, backgrounds, religious ethnicities to live and exercise their rights without fear. We demand the removal of the Home Advisor Jahangir Alam Chaudhary, who has failed in his duties to keep the people of this country, both men and women, safe. Instead, his role has been deleterious. His repeated responsible statements and dereliction of duty, who has been unable to restore people's trust and confidence in the institutions that are meant to serve them. But we will not be silent. We will continue our protests until we can live freely, safely, and with dignity in this society. We refuse to live in fear. Our demands: removal of the home advisor from his post. Number two, the interim government must perform its duties as a governing institution, which it has failed to do so far, and take appropriate and immediate measures to guarantee the safety of every citizen, including women. Number three, the government and law enforcement agencies must be held accountable for their failure to prevent ongoing mob attacks, lynching, targeted assault, harassment, and rape against women, as well as taking decisive action to stop them. The media must stop spreading misinformation and take responsibility for shaping public perception. Number five, effective measures to eradicate and punish cyberbullying.